Hey everyone, it's Bling Out Mama here again. My name's Alicia Dressel. I'm an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories, as you can see, my information behind me. I'm a little new to the YouTube thing, so give me some time. Just a little about me for those of you who've never watched me before. I am coming up on 50 next month. I am a 10-year breast cancer survivor. I am a public school teacher. I have an amazing husband and kids and daughter-in-law and a bunch of fur babies. And I absolutely have a blast doing this paparazzi business. This is my business. This is my side hustle, which will soon to be my full-time hustle. Fingers crossed. But what I wanted to share with is a little bit of information for maybe some new consultants or people who are just trying to relaunch their business, for some things that maybe you haven't thought of to help your lives go a little smoother. And this could also be for your photo albums as well, so not just your lives. So I'm going to kind of tilt down just a little bit, okay? One of the things you may want to think about, we're going to discuss several things like layering, multi-ways to wear items. We're going to discuss stacking and maybe making or showing some sets and how the way you show them might make them look differently depending on your lighting and your camera. So let's jump in, shall we? Get a beverage, prop your feet up, do whatever. All right. So first let's talk about layering. All right, there are no rules as far as jewelry goes anymore. Used to, you just could not wear gold and silver, gunmetal black and silver, or anything except silver with silver and gold with gold. Rules are out the window now, y'all. We make our own rules. So, for instance, in this case, whenever you go live, you know you need to be wearing your jewelry. You can't sell the jewelry that you don't believe in, and you can't sell the product that you don't believe in. So when you believe in it, you wear it, you show it, and you brag about it. So, for instance, I'm wearing 3 different metals here. This one is to where I'm actually part of this chain here, but I doubled it up to make it shorter. I'll get to that in a minute. I have a silver choker on. This is at just about its shortest length. It can actually go about a ½ an inch shorter. I don't have it quite all the way short, okay? Then in the middle layer, I'm wearing a doubled up long yellow gold. This one typically comes down as long as the other one I'm wearing. However, my next step will be talking about layering or wearing in multiple ways. But I wanted to show it to you also with the black gunmetal. For instance, I'm wearing 2 heart pendants of different metals and different lengths. Okay? Wear them together with either maybe an all white, all black, or solid gray, or beautiful, just a very dressy blouse, and all of it looks good together. Of course, I wear my bling to Walmart, so don't mind me. Don't let me tell you where to wear it, because I wear it everywhere. So, but that is, as far as mixing your metals, go for it. There are no hard and fast rules on that anymore. Talking about layering, yes, wearing it in more than one way. I just talked about layering, sorry. Wearing it in more than one way. For instance, this necklace is a long necklace, okay? And it is normally worn as the long pendant. However, I wanted to use it and show you that you can also wear it as a short one. If I were to clasp it back, it would be as long as this one, which is perfectly fine on its own. Okay? So there's more than one way to wear the jewelry. Show it. I have several of my preferred customers who prefer long pieces over short. I've got some who just like it all. You know who you are. But, if you've got customers that you know prefer short jewelry, but you've got a lot of long necklaces in that can be shortened, do it. Shorten some. Model it in your live or on a bust display. Model it that way on your bust. And that way your customers can see that they're not limited to just out of the packaging. All right, let's look at stacking. Perhaps you've noticed. And yes, the tags are still on them. I don't take tags off, neither are you supposed to take tags off. You're not supposed to sell paparazzi items without their tag. That's in your compliance if you have not read that. Side note. But these back here are mine. I've already taken the tags off of those. But there is no reason why you can't stack and wear different styles, colors, types, everything. I've got my red and silver bangles. I've got my stretchy gold. And then I've got different pearls on the different stretch. So you can stack them, wear them how you want to, wear a lot of them. Whenever I go to work, I sometimes will put on, 4 or 5 different colors even, especially if I'm wearing an outfit that has multiple colors. Bring them out. Maybe pick one small color out of that blouse that you're wearing and, bring it to life with bracelets or earrings. Okay, so I'm putting on my favorites right now. That's my go-to. So I'm also wearing a set of our earrings that has the red, okay? It's got the red little gemstones in it. And I like it because I'm wearing a little bit of red. So I might not normally have worn those earrings with something that was just all red, but I'm going to pull out a little red. So those are definitely some other ways you guys can do this. Let's talk displays. Okay. I'm going to lower this for a moment so that you can see. There's several ways that you need to be ready when you're talking about displays. Okay? The color of your display can affect how your clients see it. For instance, I have this particular one is called Social Hour. It's a relatively new release, and it's a little long for this display. So it might not show very well if I was just leaving it on the display like this. So this is one where you might want to put it up towards the camera. Or when you have it laying on the table, pardon my shop kitty as she runs through. She likes to be seen. Or you could pull it a little higher up on your display. I use binder clips. I'm the binder clip queen. Sorry, not sorry. And that way I can kind of help support the jewelry on the stand whenever I need to. And in this way you can see all of the parts of the jewelry. So however you wish to do it, but you know, you definitely want to make sure it appears well. If you don't pay attention and you, sorry Ellie, if you're not paying attention and you put your black necklaces on a black background, it's going to be difficult for them to be seen. They won't show as well. So you want to make sure your background is correct. Let's say maybe you ordered all black busts and you've got a lot of black jewelry you want to show. White tablecloth, white pillowcase, something nice and crisp and clean. Even gray. Gray is a neutral background, which works very well for most colors. You can get, I did that my first couple of lives. I took a gray satiny pillowcase that I had, and I wrapped it around one of my busts and just tied it in the back to where you couldn't see it. And it worked very well for me for a few weeks, you know, and then I got some white ones in, and so now I have some white ones and some black ones, and I will still throw a gray tablecloth over something in a heartbeat. So, as a matter of fact, my gray tablecloth is right under all my stuff today. So, but another thing you might want to look at, the same necklace on two different backgrounds looks completely different. So depending on what you're showing your clients, they may want to see it on two different color backgrounds or on no background at all against you. Okay? One of my clients just made a comment on my photo album yesterday about how she liked the fact that I took pictures of myself wearing the jewelry. And she said it gave her a better idea of where the jewelry hits and lands on real people. So, you know, you might want to take pictures of it and look at them before you go on live. Definitely practice before you go live. I recommend that. Let's see, showing sets. If you are not pairing up some jewelry together, you're missing out on sales. I'm telling you that from experience. For instance, lovely, gorgeous little collar length necklace. This one has those turquoise blue stones in it. Whoop, pardon me, I'm flipping it around. Gorgeous, okay? And by itself, it's nice and pretty and dainty. However, since I happen to have a gorgeous bracelet with these same stones, I can pair those and make a $5 set turn into a $10 set. So now I have just doubled my sale on that one item. Okay? So you don't always have to have a matching set. Sometimes you'll have a set that goes very well together. Some people call it their own match. You know, mine is Bling Out Mama, so mine would be a mama match. Okay, they were ones, for instance, this one, this set came together as a set. It didn't come together, but this one is available as a set. Okay, it is the exact same chain, the exact same purple pearl. Okay, the one I just showed you in the blue did not come as a set. They just happened to make a great set. So make your sets. What I often do is I will advertise it. Hey, you know, this is item number 17. If you would like both pieces, claim 17 set or just 17 bracelet or whatever your pieces are. You still want to give your customers that option. Some nights you might want to do a sets only show. Absolutely, jump right in. Just pair up everything ahead of time. Okay, so those are some different ways that I think you can show your jewelry. I do think your background matters. Okay, I used to do my pegboard in my background. Let me see if you can see a little bit. I don't always do my pegboard in my background now. I actually like my table better. I'm hoping my shop kitty does not knock that light over. Just saying. But I kind of like having my table better because it's still got my contact information in the back. Whew, she didn't knock the light over. Thank you. And it's done in the reverse print so that as my camera's on selfie mode, people can see it and read it very well. Let's see. Going live. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about today. Going live. I suggest practicing in front of a mirror. If you are scared, do it in front of a mirror. Okay, that's the first thing. Do it in front of your kids. Just record yourself, and then the hardest thing to do is to watch yourself and go back and listen. You're not going to recognize your own voice half the time unless you're used to hearing it on playback. I always think my voice sounds so much deeper than I hear it coming out of my mouth. So definitely get used to that. People hear you differently than you hear yourself. It helps you see, because I still have a bad case of doing the ums. A lot of people do. I know, I took speech class in college, y'all. I know, I'm not supposed to do the However, find myself doing it. I try not to. If I bite my tongue every time I had an we'd be okay. However, so let's move on. Something else you want to consider for your lives. Have your pieces ready before you go on. You don't have to have the numbers necessarily out with them. I like to pull my numbers out randomly, especially if I'm playing a game like Blingo or something. And my cat's going to knock stuff over. Anyway. So I like to pull out the numbers randomly. But some people like to go ahead and have their numbers ahead of time. This is your business. This is absolutely your business. You run it how you see fit. These are just a couple of suggestions. Maybe you want to try them. Something else you might want to do is understand that during a live, standing, walking around, moving around, brings a little more energy to your show. Now, granted, if you have accessibility or mobility issues, by all means, sit down. I do often have issues with the lower vertebrae in my back, so there are times when I do sit down. I get in my little scooty rolly chair and I'll roll around the office that way. Oftentimes I'll have one of my daughters come in and help me model things and move things around and show things for me. So, by all means, do it what's comfortable, but I have done it both ways, and I do feel like moving around is better. Kind of gives you something to do with your hands when you're not showing jewelry, and it also kind of channels that energy towards your viewers. Let's see, what else? The longer you're on, the better. I do find that my short lives, you barely really get enough time to introduce yourself and discuss your opportunity and discuss, why you're in it and all your why and all that. You don't get that opportunity if you're only on 30 minutes. Now, the difference is if you're running a speed sale. Some consultants like to run a speed sale where it's, here it is, here's the number, this is blue, next. Here it is, here's the number, silver, next. And they do that, but they don't look at any of the comments until later, and that kind of generates a sense of urgency. And a lot of those can run 20 minutes, some can run an hour. It just depends on how much you really want to show. With me, I have issues with internet signal. I live in a very rural area, and apparently in the part of Georgia I'm in, the rainy season lasts from, July to June. So, my signal kind of gets messy all the time. Working on that from the technical aspect. But, so since that's the case, sometimes I will record a sale, and then I'll upload it as soon as I have good enough signal, or I go somewhere where I have good enough signal. You're in a very rural town and everybody goes to McDonald's because they know they have signal to upload stuff. So yes, that's where I'm at. For those of you who haven't heard of it, I live in a little town called Avra, Georgia. From what I understand, if you've lived here long enough or if you're old enough, you can call it Avery, Georgia. But it is called Avra. A lot of people call it Avera. No, it's Avra. We are about 40 miles southwest of Augusta, Georgia, if that gives you any kind of indication of where I'm at. So in a rural setting, or if you have internet issues, then you may definitely want to do some recording. I do a fast sale sometimes if I know internet's going to be a problem, and then I'll just run through a speed sale. Okay. So that's the longer you're on, have your numbers ready. Let me take you with me for a second. Okay. Having your numbers ready when you go live is, that's a big thing, okay? Let's go ahead and lower my stand a little bit. There we go. Ha, there I am. Okay. Now, you don't have to buy your numbers from Paparazzi. You don't have to buy your numbers from Etsy. You don't have to buy your numbers from anywhere. You can go onto several of the Facebook groups and you can print numbers. You can print them yourself and they will automatically print out in reverse, such as where they'll look like right way in selfie mode, okay, and the right way on your side. If you look at your number and it's backwards to you, then it's also backwards to your people. So on the numbers that you buy, they're printed on both sides. So you look at it on your side, it is correct, and on your customer side, it is correct as well. So, but you can print some out because I didn't get my numbers in for a minute, so I printed some out on cardstock and I just punched some holes in them so I could hang them on hooks and whatnot. And it worked absolutely just fine. I just had them printed with only the reverse. That way, as I held up the numbers, I can look in the camera and tell that said 49. I didn't have to, turn around and do anything or try to figure it out or hold it up and read through it. Have your numbers, have some type of system ready. Also, before you go live, you need to determine the way you're going to invoice and the length of time you give clients to pay their invoices. Everyone is different. Some consultants are knocking it out with 3, 4, 5 days a week going live, and they just invoice 1 day a week. That way, if Marianne wants to shop on Monday and Wednesday, she only needs to get one invoice. Okay? Some clients can do, or consultants, can do it that way. At the moment, I am once and twice a week, once every week, and then I'll do a pop-up just to say, hi, here I am, just to keep my face out there. Because I love going live, y'all. I have become addicted to putting myself out there. So it's really crazy. Let's see, what else? Oh, there I went, again, sorry. But have everything ready. Decide if you're going to invoice through, say, Square, or I'm not telling you to invoice through Square. That's just one that a lot of consultants use. You may need, Square does have an inventory system now that I just finally started using. I run all of my invoices through Square now, even if it's a giveaway prize, if it is a cash payment, if they pay me through some other platform such as Zelle or Venmo or Cash App, I still have a way to record that on my Square. You can print and download your Square reports monthly, weekly, daily, or yearly. Since I didn't process a lot of my sales through Square this year, like a lot of my cash ones, I really wish I had, I don't have a good estimate on what my actual sales were. I'm having to go back and look to see, what was my total, number of pieces bought this year and my total number that I have now, and do the math. That's a pain. So I am learning the hard way. Run every transaction through whatever invoicing system you use. Like I said, I do Square. However, I take payments through just about anywhere. I take payments through Facebook Payment. I take payments through Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. They can reply through Square and pay with whatever credit card they want to. And for my people who I work with or play pool with or am close enough to, then yeah, I don't need to ship. And I can just get cash that way. And that's totally cool with me. The only thing we don't take are checks and promises. That's it. I'm just saying. But that's true for most anybody nowadays. Also, when you are doing any of your invoicing, you need to teach your customers how to pay you. What I mean by that is if you are going to allow Betty Sue to pay you next Friday because she only gets paid on the 10th of the month, then that's an arrangement you have with Betty Sue. And Betty Sue needs to understand that that's your arrangement with her. What I tend to do is somewhere in the description of my live or during the live, I will reiterate, that, hey, we're going to, invoices will be sent out tomorrow, and if you would, please get invoices paid within 48 hours. Some people, they want them paid within 24 hours. It depends on your business. It depends on, the level of your business. Don't be afraid to rescind an invoice. Let me say that 2 ways. Don't be afraid to resend an invoice for someone who can't find it in their email or whatever. And don't be afraid to rescind an invoice and cancel it in case you need to return an item to stock. That happens. Life happens. I don't take it personal. I don't hold it against the client. I do, however, if it's twice that I've had to cancel an invoice, then I typically won't take any more sales from that client unless it is cash. So that's just me. Or, maybe you would prefer to have them pay immediately. That's totally fine too. Like I said, this is your business. You have to run it how you want to. Okay? Advertising. I'm cramming a lot into a few minutes, and I talk fast, and I know, and I'm sorry. And if you do have questions, if you feel like commenting under the video, you might want to tag me in it, or say, hey, Alicia, by the way, I missed that part, or I don't understand that. I'll be happy to clarify. Or you can find me on Facebook at Bling Out Mama, and in that way I can answer any of your questions. However, let's see, what else? Fashion Fix, okay? Fashion Fix is fun for me. That's the monthly subscription, basically, type service. As a consultant, you have to call and say, hey, you know, I'd like to be on the Fashion Fix list. Okay, great. Sometimes there's a waiting list. Sometimes it's not. It depends on the time of year and how many are ahead of you. It is 5 complete sets of coordinating jewelry. There's 4 pieces. Let me grab one. For instance, this is for the January 2020 set, okay? This is one of my sets. This is my favorite, and I've decided I'm ordering myself one, okay? I like to display it on one board if I can. So I will put a binder clip up here. Sometimes I'll put a binder clip here in case the bracelet wants to slip, okay? But all of the pieces are here. And on the back, I usually clip the name of the grouping. This one is Magnificent Musings, which is the name of one of our collections. And that way it gives me the name of each piece and it gives me some of the descriptors, okay? But for instance, this set right here is a $20 set, plus tax and whatever shipping you have, okay? That's up to you. So for instance, if you are pre-selling those, you can take advance orders from your clients up until, say, the night of the 4th of each month. And then about midnight, every consultant who's in Paparazzi will log onto the website and try to order whatever they need to fill their orders for pre-orders on those. Most consultants that I'm familiar with don't invoice their clients for these until we guarantee that we can get that order. For instance, Marcy orders Magnificent Musings set, and before I can get on there and get them, it's sold out. So in that case, Marcy does not get an invoice. So whereas Miss Sandy orders the Simply Southwest, and I am able to get hers, so then I would invoice her. So it all runs a little different. I did an earlier video on shipping and taxes. You're welcome to watch that one if you want to get some ideas on that. It just totally depends on you, on your shipping. But there are plenty of shipping websites that are typically cheaper than using USPS. I'm just saying, put that out there. I'm not saying, I'm just saying there are some. So you might want to look into it or check with some other people on your team page on Facebook. You know, consultants, we will help you out. My upline has been amazing. They help me. They answer every question I have. They answer questions even when I think they're stupid questions. If I have a question about maybe a post I'm about to make, you know, is it in compliance? Did I break a rule by putting it this way or whatever? I will shoot a copy of it to my upline and say, is this good? Did I miss something? Is it wrong? What do I need to change? And then once you get the hang of it, you're fine. You're good to go. However, I do think there are always opportunities to learn. I am still learning this business. But like I said, I love going live, so I'm probably going to have a lot more videos, and as soon as I get a little more comfortable and have enough subscribers, I might just go live from YouTube sometime. So hey, watch out for me. If you do like my information, please feel free to hit the little subscribe button down below, and you're welcome to hit the little ding dong bell. That'll let you know when I put something new out. In the beginning, I'm probably going to cram several in this week, although my end goal is to just post a new one each week or every other week. So that's my goal. So again, my name is Alicia Dressel. I am an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories, and I am in it to win it for 2020. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much.